So something really interesting is happening in the Toronto market right now. And I can tell you that this isn't anything that you're going to read about or hear about in the news. My team is on the front lines working with a lot of buyers right now. And typically we'd book a showing a few days out and we'd have no issues seeing the property. And now most of those properties have either sold by the time we have our showing or they're receiving multiple offers in advance. Now, the question is this pent up demand from the terrible weather we had in January and February where buyers weren't actually leaving their homes? Or is this something more meaningful where buyer sentiment is actually changing and moving a larger group of buyers off of the sidelines back into the market? I guess time will tell, but I can tell you right now the energy is real and it's an interesting time. So let's watch this closely. And then there's obviously the policy side where various levels of government have made a number of announcements over the past few weeks in the hopes to move buyers off the sidelines to start buying new homes again. The big one obviously is the 13% tax relief. Now developers are still figuring out what this all means. No one really actually knows, but developers are already taking action and heavily discounting their prices. Other developers are leaving it to the buyer to handle the rebate on their own. On top of that, many developers are now throwing in the kitchen sink. They're adding additional price discounts, they're adding incentives that weren't there before, and they're doing that to stack that up along with the HST rebate to make things really interesting and start moving through their inventory, which is actually seeing a really strong response rate. Now, no one really knows the finer details of how this HST rebate will apply to different types of transactions. So over the coming week or so, I imagine we're going to have a lot more clarity around that, and I'll share that with you as we learn. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. A lot of buyers I'm working with right now are looking for deals that are pre-construction with 5%, 7.5%, 10% down. So what does that actually mean? It means you could buy a new property, put down 10%, and receive a 13% rebate back, essentially buying the property for no money down. Other investors are looking at it to claim the rebate on their own so that they can get back 13%. So if they're buying $1 million property and they get a 13% rebate, that's going to help them cover any cash flow and expenses for a long period of time. Now, why is the government doing this? So first of all, the federal government announced tax relief for first-time home buyers, and it did nothing to move buyers off the side. And the way the government is looking at it now is if they're not selling any new homes to generate any type of tax revenue, why not eliminate that tax revenue to help spur different parts of the economy through construction and consumer confidence and moving buyers back into the market? Now, this is a fascinating time. Let's watch this closely. Deals are getting better. Consumer confidence is getting better. People are doing deals that weren't getting done just a few weeks ago. So let's watch it closely and let's hope this is a long-term trend.